Recent movies, such as Brave and the Hunger Games, both portray strong lead characters who are highly skilled with one particular weapon, the bow. Since these movies came out, there has been a renewed interest in learning how to shoot with a bow. For thousands of years, most cultures around the world have used the bow and arrow as a weapon for hunting, warfare, competition, or even as an art form. One of the most commonly and widely used type of this weapon is the recurve bow. The powerful recurve bow evolved from the ancient longbow thousands of years ago and is still widely popular today. Now, I'm going to show you how to use this popular projectile weapon system. The first step in learning how to shoot a recurve bow is to familiarize yourself with the different parts of the bow. The most notable aspect of the recurve bow is the curved ends of the limbs that extend from the middle of the bow. The curve increases the speed of the arrow and smoothness of the release, allowing for a more powerful and accurate shot. In the center of the bow, we have the visor, or handle. The point at which you hold the visor is called the grip. Right above the grip is the shelf. On most recurve bows, there is an arrow rest located above the shelf and is usually made out of plastic or metal. This is where the shaft of the arrow rests when the bow is loaded. This is, obviously, the bowstring. The bowstring is what gives the arrow its power and thrust. In the middle section of the string, there's a black cord that is tightly wound around the bowstring. This is known as the serving. About a third of the way down from the top of the serving is the nocking point, usually indicated by a small piece of round plastic or metal. Now let's take a look at the arrow, which is the projectile of this weapon system. You'll notice that at one end there is a two-pronged tip. This is the nock. The nock is where the arrow will attach to the bowstring, just underneath the nocking point. Another important part of the arrow is its fletching feathers. The three vanes made of either feathers or plastic located below the nock. Fletching feathers help the arrow fly accurately through the air by causing the projectile to spin. Now come join me outside so that we can move on to the fun stuff, shooting the bow. When you go to shoot, you can't just pull the string back and release the arrow in any position you want. For the most accurate shot, you need to develop proper form and stance. To do this, stand with your feet shoulder width apart, with your chest facing in the same direction as your feet. Next, turn your front foot slightly outward and move it back a few inches. This is called open stance, since it opens up your chest. Next, pick up your bow and hold it by the grip and load an arrow. Place the nock of the arrow below the nocking point and the shaft of the arrow on the arrow rest. Be sure that one of the fletching feathers is facing outward. This allows for a better spin to the arrow. Next, place your index finger above the arrow and your middle and ring fingers below it. This is known as Mediterranean draw, or split finger style, and is one of the most commonly used finger positions. Draw the bow by pulling the nock of the arrow towards your face and find your anchor point. The anchor point is where you'll be aiming from. This could be your chin, corner of your mouth, ear, or cheek, just wherever feels most natural, really. Next, your body should be making a sort of T shape. To achieve this shape, keep your inner elbow parallel to the ground and your bowstring elbow parallel to your shoulder blade. Look down the shaft of the arrow, aiming your focus at the center of the target through what is called the sight window. Relax your jaw fingers and let the arrow fly. Remember to keep your bow vertical until your arrow reaches its target. So now you know the different parts of a traditional recurve bow and the basics of how to shoot one. Now, you may choose to use this new knowledge to pursue a hobby in archery, like me. Or perhaps you may choose to go bow hunting for some big game out in the woods. Whatever you decide, remember that I just showed you the basics. It's now your turn to build your knowledge of archery, practice, and try something new. Now stay tuned for a demonstration of me shooting at a local archery range.